Next stop, Evan.
Evan, what the? This can't be happening.
It was just another late-night subway ride home from work. Empty car, flickering lights, the usual city noise. But when the announcement system said my name and told me to move seats, I realized someone, or something, was watching from inside the train. So don't skip this video, because the next time you hear your name over the subway speakers, it might not be a coincidence. I used to take the subway home from work every night. Same route, same time, never thought twice about it. Until one night, I heard my name come over the announcement system, and it hasn't stopped since. This was late 2022. I was working nights as a prep cook at a small restaurant near Midtown, usually clocking out around 11:30 p.m. By the time I cleaned up and changed clothes, I'd missed the rush hour crowd, which I didn't mind. I liked the quiet. I'd grab a slice from the corner shop, walk to the 7th Avenue station, and take the downtown D train back to Brooklyn. My route was always the same. Get on at 7th Avenue, transfer at Atlantic, Barclays, ride 2 stops to my neighborhood station. Simple, routine, predictable. I'd pop in my earbuds, zone out, and watch the empty station slide by. Until one Tuesday night in December. That's when I heard it. I'd just gotten on the D at 7th Avenue. The car was nearly empty, just a man in a construction vest dozing off, and a woman scrolling through her phone. We pulled out of the station. The usual robotic voice came over the speaker. This is a Brooklyn-bound D local train. The next stop is 59th Street. I didn't think twice. But a minute later, the announcement buzzed again, crackling this time. Next stop, 59. Evan, please move away from the door. My head jerked up. That's my name. I looked around. The other passengers didn't react. They didn't even look up. Maybe I'd misheard. Maybe it said everyone, not Evan. Then the voice came again. Evan, please, move away from the door. This time, it was clear. The tone wasn't robotic anymore. It sounded like someone trying to sound robotic. Like a person using the PA mic, mimicking the system voice. The hair on my arms stood up. I wasn't near the door. I was sitting in the middle of the car. I glanced at the others. Nothing. The woman was still scrolling. The construction guy was half asleep. When we reached 59th, I stepped off the train, heart pounding. I told myself it had to be a glitch, some prank, or crossed frequency. But as the doors closed behind me, I heard one more line. Quiet, almost lost in the static. We see you. The next night, I almost took a cab home, but $40 was too much on my paycheck, so I convinced myself it was nothing. I got on the same train, same time. The first few stops were normal. Then, as we pulled out of 36th Street, the announcement system crackled again. This is a Brooklyn-bound D train. The next stop is Evan. No number, no station name, just my name. I froze. The woman across from me looked up this time, frowning. Did that say your name? She asked. I don't know. I stammered. The lights flickered. The speakers buzzed again. Evan, seat 5. Please remain seated. She looked at me, eyes wide. What the hell? Seat 5. I looked down. Each seat in this car had small, numbered stickers, something I'd never noticed before. I was sitting in seat 5. I stood up immediately. The woman got up too, grabbing her bag. That's creepy. The train screeched into the next stop, 9th Avenue, and I bolted out with her. She turned to me on the platform. You should tell MTA or something. That's not normal. I will, I said, but I never did, because deep down, I didn't think they'd believe me. For the next week, I avoided that train line completely. I'd take the bus or get a ride from a friend, even walk a few miles when I had to. But one night, a snowstorm hit. The buses were canceled. My coworker left early. So it was just me, at 11:40 p.m., standing at the entrance to the D train again. The cold wind howled through the stairwell. I told myself, out loud, that this was just a coincidence. A broken announcement system. Maybe some bored worker messing around. I got on the train. Empty car. Except this time, I noticed something new. On the far side, near the door, there was a small access panel under the speaker. and it was slightly open. I stared at it, half expecting to see wires or equipment, but instead, I saw movement, like someone's hand slowly pulling the panel closed from the inside. I froze. A second later, the intercom came to life. "Welcome back, Evan." The voice wasn't mechanical anymore. It was low, calm, human. I jumped up and slammed the emergency call button near the door. No response. The voice laughed quietly. "We missed you." I got off at the next station and ran upstairs, straight into the snow. The next morning, I called the MTA complaint line. A woman answered, bored and tired. I told her everything. The announcements, the voice, the open panel. There was a long pause. Then she said, "Sir, what train line did you say this was?" "The D line," I said. "Late night train from Midtown." Another pause. Then, "Sir, the D line hasn't run local after midnight since 2019. Are you sure it wasn't a shuttle?" "I'm sure," I said. "I take it every night." She sighed. "Okay, I'll file a report." But her tone made it clear she didn't believe me. After hanging up, I checked online. She was right. According to the official schedule, there hadn't been a D train local service on that route in 3 years. So what the hell had I been riding? That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I searched social media for anything, keywords like weird subway announcements, NYC train voice, MTA prank. Buried in a Reddit thread from 2020, I found a post. "Late night D train keeps calling my name?" The user described almost the exact same thing, a distorted voice saying their name, seat numbers, personal details. The post had 0 comments, and when I clicked their profile, it said account suspended. The next few days, I didn't take the subway, but every night around 11:30, I'd get notifications from the MTA app. Delay on the D line. Train approaching 7th Avenue station. I deleted the app weeks ago. One night, while sitting in my apartment, I heard it, faint but unmistakable. A subway announcement, coming from outside. My apartment faced a narrow alley between buildings, no stations nearby. Still, I walked to the window and listened. This is a Brooklyn-bound D train. The next stop is Evans Building. I stumbled back. The voice echoed between the walls, growing fainter with every word. I didn't sleep that night. 2 nights later, I decided to face it. Maybe if I filmed it, people would believe me. So I brought my phone, got on the same late-night train, and hit record. The car was empty again. As we pulled out of 7th Avenue, I kept my camera pointed at the speaker. For the first minute, nothing. Just the rumble of the tracks. Then, static. The speaker hissed. The lights flickered. "Evan, you shouldn't have come back." I dropped my phone. The voice was right next to me now, like someone whispering directly into my ear. I looked up. Every mirror and window showed my reflection sitting in the middle seat. But in the reflection, my mouth was moving. And I wasn't talking. "We're almost there." I turned toward the access panel. It was open again. Behind it, for just a second, I saw an eye, human, wide, staring out at me. Then the train screeched to a stop. The lights went out completely. In the dark, I could hear footsteps, slow, deliberate, moving toward me down the aisle. I reached for my phone, but the screen was black. The footsteps stopped right in front of me. Then the intercom clicked one final time. "This is the last stop." The doors opened, but outside wasn't a station. It was a tunnel, pitch black, stretching into nothing. The voice whispered again, softer now. "Get off." I ran the other way, through the train cars, slamming every door behind me until I found one that opened to an actual platform. I sprinted up the stairs and didn't stop until I reached the street. When I looked back, the entrance was gone. Just a blank concrete wall where the station should have been. The next morning, I tried going back. I walked up and down the block, but there was no entrance. No sign of construction. Nothing. I even asked a cop nearby if there was a closed station around there. He looked confused. "There's no D train stop on this street, man. Closest one's 3 blocks over." I checked my phone for the video I'd recorded. It was there, but the footage was just static. The audio, though, You could still hear the announcement. This is the last stop. Everyone, please exit the train. And under it, barely audible, my own voice repeating, Seat 5, Seat 5, Seat 5. I haven't taken the subway since. I walk everywhere now, even in the cold, even at 3 a.m. But sometimes, when the city's quiet, I'll hear it again, faint at first, the rumble of trains deep underground. And then, just beneath the wind, Evan, the next stop is you.